What's up, guys? Another week, and that means another episode of Krypton. After this one, we only got 2 left, so let's jump right in. When we start off this week's episode of Krypton, we're not sure if this is a dream sequence or an alternate reality, but let's just say in this one, Lyta and Seg actually agree to bind to each other and moved away from Kandor to start over, and it's a fairy tale ending. Or is it? But we'll get back to that later. Back in the real world, at the Fortress of Solitude, Seg and Nyssa are trying to scan the universe for their beloved Jor-El. But it's a hopeless task. Suddenly they hear soldiers coming to the entrance. Ready to fight? But no, it's Jaina and Dev M. They're here to help. Meanwhile, General Zod is keeping his weapons expert busy, making Doomsday into Zod's personal weapon, obeying his every command. It's a tall order, but Zod keeps pushing. She says they need something to keep Doomsday's mind in an impressionable state. General Zod, being his ever so resourceful self, says he might have something. As the two of them stroll into this secluded little room, ta-da! It's a plant called the Black Mercy. It can trick the mind into thinking it's alive and very happy, when it's actually being consumed by the parasite. And oh yeah, it's attached itself to Lyta's body. But wait, didn't Lyta die on Wegthor? No, silly Kryptonian tricks are for kids. That was just a clone. And remember that dream sequence alternate reality the episode started off with? That's Lyta being fed a string of happy lies. Seems Zod couldn't get mommy to follow him after all, so he put her here until he figured out what to do with her. Damn, that's cold. And we thought the brain wipe device was harsh. They extract some venom from the plant to try on Doomsday. So back at the fortress, Seg, Nyssa, Jaina, and Dev are planning to attack and destroy Zod's first fleet before it can launch to Wegthor. If it reaches Wegthor, it'll be the end of the rebels. But how to get in? Well, Seg has an idea. Seems he had a secret entrance when he used to sneak in to be with Lyta. But as with all Kryptonian plans, they'd never really go off without a hitch. They really should just call them ideas. However, shortly after they sneak in, Nyssa and Seg are forced to surrender to the Sagittari, leaving Jaina and Dev to find the armory. Meanwhile, in Lyta's perfect fantasy, reality starts to reveal itself. Seems when they took out some venom, they took out a little too much, and a suppressed truth in Lyta's mind breaks in. Let's just say the fairy tale is turning into a nightmare. Zod and the weapons expert pump Doomsday up with some of the Black Mercy toxin. It's working, but they need more. So they go back to Lyta, this time extracting a larger amount. With the large amount of toxin out of her system, this triggers her to wake up. And what a way to wake up. A giant slimy tendril down her throat and covered in a mess. As she frees herself from all of this, she's very weak and falls to the floor. Suddenly a Sagittari comes in after hearing the commotion, but she's able to take him down. Time to escape. Meanwhile, Dev and Jaina are working their way through the halls trying to find the armory when they're stopped by some Sagittari. When it just so happens that Lyta's come to save the day and blast the Sagittari away. Jaina is cautious but ecstatic to realize that this is the real Lyta. Dev continues on and breaks Nyssa and Seg free from their cell by using his Winter Soldier arm to punch through a force field barrier. Lyta, using her codes, which are still active, is able to deactivate the fleet and bring this little plan to a close. Not exactly the grand plan Seg had come up with, but we're gonna take the win. Then it's reunion time with the whole group. Seg sees Lyta back from the dead and is ecstatic. They embrace for a very long kiss. I sincerely hope she got all that slime out beforehand though, but Seg doesn't seem to mind. One person that is concerned is Nyssa. She finally had Seg all to herself, and now the dead girlfriend re-enters the picture. Nyssa just can't catch a break. Then last week closed with Zod finding out Mom has escaped with Seg and Nyssa, and his ships are sabotaged. He's not a happy camper, but really, when's Zod ever in a good mood? Well guys, that's it for this week's Krypton. It was pretty straightforward. We only got 2 more episodes left. We still haven't seen Lobo, and we're kind of sad about that, but it's going to be interesting to see what the Black Mercy does with Doomsday. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out, and we greatly appreciate it. Like this video, comment, share with your friends, and we'll see you next time.